My singing can't be worse than Errol Carter. I heard him singing the other day. He wasn't too bad, but he was just off rhythm. To the old ship of Zion, to the old ship of Zion, to the old ship of Zion, step on board. If you want to see Jesus, step on board and follow me. I tried. But anyway, I'm going to title this one, What Did Y'all Do to Carlton Preachers? What did y'all do to Carlton Pearson Preachers? Yeah, the subject of Carlton Pearson is hot right now, and it needs to stay hot because I believe his death not his death, but I believe the attention of his death is a good opportunity for the church to do some serious soul seeking. If y'all pay attention to a lot of people who've been talking about this pretty heavy, the people who've been giving the truth, y'all can see the message, the common message, where a lot of YouTubers and people who are getting backlash from the people who are mad because people are defending the Bible and telling us to be quiet and leave him alone, stuff like that. And we all are saying the same thing. Where were you? All you people that are telling people to be quiet, leave him alone, leave it alone. Where were y'all when he was, let's rewind this clock back about 10, 15, 20 years. For all you people who are saying leave him alone, leave it, let God judge and all this, just want to be quiet. Where were y'all 20 years ago when he was preaching his message, deceiving people? Where were you people? What side of the fence were you on then? Were y'all sitting back listening, knowing he was preaching death to people? Were y'all trying to say anything to either to him or to the people that he was deceiving? The people that are saying be quiet, leave him alone, don't let John. Were y'all trying to defend the Bible, or were you just sitting back being quiet, like y'all say, be quiet, leave him alone? Were you just sitting back watching him destroy people's lives, souls, rather? That's what I would like to know. But I want to go deeper because a lot of people are just scratching the surface. I'm a person, I like to go deeper. When I start paying attention to stuff and I listen to preachers and I listen to people, I listen and I ask questions. A lot of people go to church, especially in the Baptist church. They listen to the preacher preach. The preacher preach them fast sermons, them holy shout sermons and stuff like that. And they say a lot of stuff that's really not biblical. Down through the generation, through the years, we heard that stuff. But a lot of people in the church's ears are not tuned to actually what the preacher's saying. It just, amen, preacher, they just program the amen and shout. That's the way the Baptist church decide up. Preacher just preach, shout, just give you something to shout, and everybody but jump in the church, shout. Then they sing it. That's where the singing stuff had got so popular. They came from the Baptists. That's why you see it in the Kojic and stuff so much. Singing. Singing was never meant to be so popular and become the main attraction to church now. But this is what we get. We got singing pastors. They do a whole lot of singing. Then they preach. But you notice that a lot of these singing pastors that preach pastors, well-known, rich, they don't ever be doing the Bible studies, Q&As and stuff like that. It's designed that way. Come to church, hear us preach, sing, support us, whatever, and just take down what we tell you. It don't matter if you hear something that ain't right, just like Tim Rogers. Somebody said at their funeral that he said if you believe in hell or something like that, you believe in fairy tales or something like that. And I seen an interview recently with him and E. Dewey Smith. And I was in the comment section. I heard somebody say, well, he said that. And somebody asked prayer. Did the same man that said something about hell and fairy tales? And somebody said, well, y'all misunderstood what he said. Y'all didn't say. But I'm sure at some point in time, somebody tried to question that man about that, what he said, and he knew people were gonna be confused if somebody took that out of context. If that people say, well, y'all just heard a snippet, y'all didn't understand. Go back to them years when he preached that from, I guess, I don't know how many years ago. He had plenty of time to clear that up. And I'm sure at some point, somebody probably tried to ask him about that long time ago. Probably immediately after he said it. But this the stuff that's been going on in churches now for a long time. Preachers been able to say stuff and push stuff out people, and dare the members to question them about anything. That's why, that's the point in Bible study and stuff. Like churches, preachers don't really have time for Bible studies and stuff like they used to, especially when you're dealing with the popular preachers, the important preachers. They always busy. The only time you see them is on Sunday in the church. All the other time they busy running around the United States, flying here and flying there. They so important. They got to sing, they got to do this, all that. That's why I don't agree with singing, so-called professional singing preachers, pastors. It's your job to be there with your flock. But they're so busy running around, making money, and sinning. Making money and sinning. Then they come to church on Sunday, make that money, Then Sunday night, they back on the road again somewhere, sinning. In between singing and preaching, they sinning. Some of them leave the hotel room with somebody's wife or girlfriend, go right to the stage and sing. Then when they get through singing, they going right back to the hotel somewhere, meeting with somebody else, girlfriend or wife, or somebody's boyfriend or husband. And this is what I want to get to. It seems like to me, everybody been doing their homework on Carlton Pearson. Everybody. People, if you didn't really know too much about Carlton Pearson in the past, like me, I knew of him. Everybody know of him. Nobody really paid no attention. So, but in the recent months, everybody started back going. And I've been seeing a lot of interviews where it seemed like to me that it's a lot of stuff he wanted to say. It's a lot of stuff he did say that he hinted to. But for some reason, he didn't want to go out, and I respect that. But seemed like he wanted to do a whole lot of name dropping for preachers. Because he talked about preachers, how he know a bunch of sinning preachers. So my question is, what did y'all do to that man? It's evident of his personality. It's evident that was a kind of easy to influence person. His personality, like, it don't take much to influence him one way or the other. See what I'm saying? I don't know nothing about his childhood. I don't know what he went through. I don't know, but he never came across to me as a 100% man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wondering, did y'all do something to that man years ago? Did y'all take advantage of that man? Did y'all abuse that man, preachers? Because it seemed like to me, in the interviews, he wanted to do a whole lot of talking and name dropping. He just didn't do it. That's one thing I wish he had did before he passed away. Called names. Maybe he called names to among his circle, people know. And I feel like that's why Larry Reed is talking. Carlton had to tell them some stuff. I'm sure he did. It's just a matter of time before the talking heads, the heathens, start really talking. I see where Larry already called out T.D. Jakes. And it's strange that Jakes waited till the man died, then he responded. Which I guess people say, well, that's just out of respect. But and it's strange that the preachers that came out and paid tribute to him now and all that people they didn't really say nothing negative at no point about his messages. They paying tribute to him. They honor him. A lot of them preachers know a lot of secrets. A lot of those preachers guilty of taking advantage of that man. Is the reason why none of them never came out and spoke out against him publicly is because they were afraid he would talk and spill the beans on them. He already spilled some beans and said he knew a lot of preachers that was living in sin. So it's evident that he knew a lot about a lot of preachers, famous preachers, well-known preachers. And this stuff, this type of stuff is well embedded in the church. Secrecy, exploitation from preachers now, people who call themselves preachers, been known for taking advantage of people. He said it himself. He knew a lot of preachers. He said I just heard an interview. He said they was talking about his doctrine and he had discussions. I said with someone they were talking about and they were critiquing about it, and he was like, "Y'all better hope I'm right because if I'm not, a lot of y'all going to hell." I'm sure my topic is very relevant and it's something to look at. It's been a lot of devilish, dark stuff going on in the church for as long as I've been around. A lot of secrets, a lot of bad stuff. I know about a lot of stories of the singers, people trying to get famous, treat people, the gospel sing, what the stuff they're having to do to gain popularity, to get their names out there. Just like what they do in the R&B and pop world, sleep around, get themselves up, do stuff they don't necessarily want to do. The church is already, when you're dealing with church folk, a lot of men in church is already teetering on what they want to be, a man or a woman. A lot of them was abused at childhood, and they grew up in, they've been to church, and a lot of them already is borderline. I see a lot of pastors in this country that I know are not qualified to pastor church. You ain't never had no wife. You was sexually abused when you were coming up, when you were young. You've been holding that stuff. That stuff you ain't, and it's evident that you are confused in your manhood. You don't have no business pastoring a church. No business. You ain't never been married. You don't have no wife. Your sexuality is suspect. You don't have no business pastoring no church. Then you on record telling people that you've been struggling for a long time. Well, I don't know. You don't have no business pastoring no church. Nobody has a business pastoring a church if they not completely grounded in their manhood. Now, you still have no business pastoring church if you're a whorish. Everybody got flaws. Everybody got faults. That's why the requirements were set. If you don't meet those requirements, it will behoove you not to take that position as a leader. You got to have what the Bible say, 1 Timothy chapter 3 and Titus. You got to meet those requirements. You can't be up there trying to pastor church and you confused about who you are. You got to be solid. You got to be grounded. You got to know where you at. You got to blameless, like the Bible say. How you gonna lead people? How you gonna counsel people? How you gonna be able to lead people who might be struggling? You can't do it. How you gonna lead somebody, counsel a married couple, and you on your third wife, or you been divorced twice, you gonna leave it to somebody else in the church, to some of the elders, let them counsel and all that stuff. No, you got to be the one that's standing strong on them scriptures. Husband of one wife, your children, your household. You got to be together. Them people, blood gonna be on your hand. You cause them people to go to hell, people that's under you in them churches, you cause them people to go to hell, to stumble, whatnot, you don't grow them people right in the Bible, and you supposed to be the leader, you gonna pay for that. Don't don't let these singing preachers woo y'all with they singing. Marvin Winans, all them. They ain't never stood on the Bible. They ain't never stood up before catering to the world. You can't never get them to sit down and ask and answer any questions. A Q&A. They just want to keep y'all drunk on they singing. Woo, woo, woo. That's they overdoing that stuff. I can sing. We know you can sing good. Y'all sound wonderful singing. Great. But at the same time, if you want to be a pastor, you got to cut out a lot of that singing. Preach this Bible. Answer these questions. People going to have credit for what they see. Well, Pastor, the Bible said be separated from the world, but yet I see every time we see you, you somewhere hanging out with P. Diddy, or you somewhere hanging out with Oprah Winfrey, or you somewhere hanging out with Whitney Houston and all them folks. But yet, your ordinary members can't get you to stop by their house for 10 minutes. Oh, they live on the bad side of town. I send the brothers by to talk to see them. I ain't got time. Somebody calling me in California. I got to go to Minnesota to see Prince. R. Kelly called me, wanted me to look at some of his music. R. Kelly is my producer. Be ye separated, Pastor. So, what did y'all do to that man? It's obvious he went to his grave holding, went to his death holding a bunch of secrets. And that man knew a lot. He can't. He was in it. He know a lot about you preaching. So it's time for y'all to start coming clean. If y'all are, if some of us really serious about the church stuff and hate the direction of where the church go, and this is a time right now for the church to start doing some soul searching and try to get this thing back on track. Stop just going through the motions. Stop just going to these worthless revivals. We're going to worthless revivals where the preachers that's hosting the revivals are tied up in sin themselves. They don't want need to be revived. They don't want need to revival. It ain't the members. The members, the foolishness and all the sin is being carried on by the leaders. Of course, the people gonna think it's right. The pastor sleeping with every woman in the church, every child, special one pastor in Memphis. Y'all see him out there on South Parkway on TV. Them folks fighting at church over him 3 years ago. The walking Bible. Who cares about that when all your life you've been submerged in sin. But anyway, let me get out of here. Yeah, what did y'all do to that man?